I was reading a book in a coffee shop when a waiter passed by and spilled coffee on my jacket. I just bought it, and it's my nicest piece of clothing. I couldn't help it. I just blew my top. I yelled at him at the top of my lungs. I'm not normally the type of person who speaks loudly in public places, but yesterday, the shop was ringing with the sound of my shouting because I flew into a rage and forgot what I was doing.
So watch this, guys. And like I said, I've witnessed this in my household when I was young. You guys probably have too. Watch this.
So how about that? Is there any room for a goal to be involved here? No matter how you look at it, isn't this behavior that originates from a cause?
So, you were stimulated by the emotion of anger and ended up shouting. Though you are normally mild-mannered, you couldn't resist being angry. It was an unavoidable occurrence and you couldn't do anything about it. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, because it happened so suddenly. The words just came out of my mouth before I had time to think.
Then, suppose you happened to have had a knife on you yesterday, and when you blew up, you got carried away and stabbed him. Would you still be able to justify that by saying, it was an unavoidable occurrence and I couldn't do anything about it?
Come on, that's an extreme argument.
It is not an extreme argument. If we proceed with your reasoning, any offense committed in anger can be blamed on anger and will no longer be the responsibility of the person, because, essentially, you are saying that people cannot control their emotions.
Well, how do you explain my anger then?
That's easy. You did not fly into a rage and then start shouting. It is solely that you got angry so that you could shout. In other words, in order to fulfill the goal of shouting, you created the emotion of anger.
What do you mean?
The goal of shouting came before anything else. That is to say, by shouting, you wanted to make the waiter submit to you and listen to what you had to say. As a means to do that, you fabricated the emotion of anger.
I fabricated it? You've got to be joking.
Then why did you raise your voice?
As I said before, I blew my top. I was deeply frustrated.
No. You could have explained matters without raising your voice, and the waiter would most likely have given you a sincere apology, wiped your jacket with a clean cloth, and taken other appropriate measures. He might have even arranged for it to be dry cleaned. And somewhere in your mind, you were anticipating that he might do these things, but even so, you shouted.
Ladies, you guys have to stop using your periods as an excuse to get crazy with men, because it's already socially accepted or embedded to understand that women get moody when they're on their monthly, okay? And you guys know what I'm talking about. The attitude supposedly supposed to come. There's been multiple videos, little clips of men, throwing chocolate at his girl because he don't want to disturb her because she's going to go off on him when she's on her monthly. Y'all got to stop taking advantage of that, because guys remember that shit, okay? Same thing in arguments. When a man is talking about something that happened right now, don't sit there and insult him based off of something he told you in confidence, okay? We see that all the time, and that's why a lot of guys don't like to open up, because whatever traumas that they experienced and they trusted you with that experience that they had, and you weaponize it when you're in an argument with him, and then you like, oh, I was just mad, baby. How many dudes gonna accept that in the chat? I was just mad, baby. I didn't mean it. Did you call me a fat fuck? Y'all know it, I'm laughing, but it ain't funny. But I've seen stuff like that where women will say something crazy and then try and just, I was just mad. No, that's not an excuse.
The procedure of explaining things in normal words felt like too much trouble, and you tried to get out of that and make this unresisting person submit to you. The tool you used to do this was the emotion of anger.
No way. You can't fool me. I manufactured anger in order to make him submit to me?
It sounds crazy, but watch this.
I swear to you, there wasn't even a second to think of such a thing. I didn't think it over and then get angry. Anger is a more impulsive emotion.
That's right. Anger is an instantaneous emotion. Now listen, I have a story. One day, a mother and daughter were quarreling loudly. Then suddenly the telephone rang. Hello? The mother picked up the receiver hurriedly, her voice still thick with anger. The caller was her daughter's homeroom teacher. As soon as the mother realized who was phoning, the tone of her voice changed and she became very polite. Then for the next 5 minutes or so, she carried on a conversation in her best telephone voice. Once she hung up, in a moment, her expression changed again, and she went straight back to yelling at her daughter.
Well, that's not a particularly unusual story.
Don't you see? In a word, anger is a tool that can be taken out as needed.
I've seen that. My mom, used to do that when we used it was our fault. We was acting an ass in the house, and she's sitting there yelling at us and just swung on us a couple times because we ain't do the dishes. Somebody called, oh hey girl, these kids. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then she get off that phone. It is like, hey, I told y'all. Yeah, I've seen that before. So it's a tool to get something done. So you can use it at your, disposal when necessary. It's not a necessary thing that you just have to get mad if somebody spills something on you, unless it's on purpose. Okay, definitely understand that. But if a waiter spills something on you, your first instinct shouldn't be to get mad. It should be like, he did this in an accident, and typically they're going to be apologetic. But it's a tool that you can bring out. I've seen that happen multiple times in my childhood upbringing. I don't know if you guys can relate. Not saying that we had a dysfunctional household. It just is what it is. It happened. We was wilding, so we got to take that L. But let's continue.
Can be put away the moment the phone rings and pulled out again after one hangs up. The mother isn't yelling in anger she cannot control. She is simply using the anger to overpower her daughter with a loud voice and thereby assert her opinions.
So anger is a means to achieve a goal?
That is what teleology says.
Ah, I see now. Under that gentle-looking mask you wear, you're terribly nihilistic. Whether we're talking about anger or my reclusive friend, all your insights are stuffed with feelings of distrust for human beings.
And the guy, the little cynical young man, he's misunderstanding. He's simply saying, hey, I see people, I trust people to be people. That's just it. So that's why, when people have these ideas or opinions of, women are good and men are bad, or men are good, women are bad. It's like, nah, man, we all people. We all gonna mess up at some point. It just is what it is. And that's the nature of being human. But in that instance, you see that, the anger, nothing has ever been solved on social media by getting angry during a conversation. Have y'all noticed that? And if those types of outbursts were actually checked, I think we'd have better conversations. We'd be able to push these things forward to develop some solutions. But for the most part, it's just, oh man, I'm gonna get this money and I'm gonna let this crazy ass chick go, wild. I'm gonna let this, female leaning dude go crazy, and I'm gonna get the likes and views. And yeah, it's all bad. Dante Bryan, $2 super chat said, everybody got a black mama with white phone voice. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. I've had that experience before, but like I said, most of the times I deserved it. Sorry, mom. God bless you. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to my mother. But yeah, I know I deserved that foolery. I was acting an ass. So every time I got swung on, it was for a reason. Except one time, I remember that. But for the most part, yeah, I was supposed to get swung on. So